All right, in this converting measures lesson, what your goal is to do is to be able to use a proportion to convert measurements in the English system. So unlike the metric system, we do not work on a base 10. So we have that chart for you. You should have, or you'll be getting, the big G paper, which is your gangsta paper. And it basically outlines that inside a gallon there are 4 quarts. And inside every quart is 2 pints, and inside every pint is 2 cups then. So it's actually kind of a nicer, prettier version of that. So what we're going to do is we're actually use proportions, and we're going to start off, these 2 pieces are going to make up the first side of my proportion. So I'm going to have 10 feet over X inches because I have blank inches. In proportions, if we do feet over inches, we need to keep that feet over inches. This side of your proportion is going to be made up with your actual measurement conversion. So we know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. And then we're going to heart method this, just like we did with proportions before. So we're going to get 120 equals 1x. So 10 feet is 120 inches. Part B, 74 quarts over x gallons. Keep your labels the same, quarts over gallons. Going off your gangster paper, you have 4 quarts in 1 gallon. So you're going to have 74 equals 4x when you heart method. And you're going to divide by 4. And x is going to equal 18.5. So 74 quarts is 18.5 gallons. Next one, 196 ounces is X pounds. So we have ounces over pounds. From your conversion, there's 16 ounces in 1 pound. So 196 equals 16x. Divide by 16. You get 12.25. So 196 ounces is 12.25 pounds. In this next one, we go from inches to yards. So we kind of need to do a little bit of thinking here first. There are 12 inches in 1 foot, and there are 3 feet in 1 yard. So there are actually 36 inches in 1 yard then. So we get 180 equals 36x. Divide by 36. And we get that x equals 5. In these next 2 examples, these are multi-step conversions. So these I kind of let you do a little differently. You can think to yourself, we're going from 6 feet 4 inches to just inches. In 1 foot, there's 12 inches. So in 6 feet, there would be 6 times 12 inches, or 72 inches. Plus 4 more inches is going to give you 76 inches. If we look here, we're going 1 quart, 2 pints, 1 cups to cups. So 1 quart, if you look at your gangster paper, is actually 4 cups. In 2 pints, that's really just 1 quart as well. So that's 4 cups. And then 1 more, so 4 plus 4 plus 1 is 9 cups. These are word problems down here. Sam has a ball of twine that says it contains 390 feet of twine. He needs to cut lengths of twine for a project for social studies class. He needs 10 pieces that are 4 yards long, and the rest has to get cut into length of 2.5 yards. How many of the 2.5 yard pieces can he cut from the twine? So, in 390 feet, we know that there are 3 feet equals 1 yard. So since this is feet, but everything else is yards, I'm going to recommend we switch this over. So if we have 390 feet is X yards, and we know there's 3 feet in 1 yard, so we're going to do 390 equals 3x. X equals 130 yards. So we're starting off with 130 yards. He's going to cut pieces off. So we're going to cut the first one, which is 10 pieces of 4 yards. So in parentheses, 10 times 4. And then the rest is going to be cut into 2.5 yards. So let's figure out after he cuts this off. So we have 130 minus 40. It's going to give us 90 yards left over. We now have to cut it into 2.5 yard pieces. So how many can he cut? So we actually are, since we're doing this multiple times, we're dividing. And 90 divided by 2.5 is actually going to give me 36 on the dot. So 36 of the 2.5 yard pieces would be our final answer here. The next one, Maria and her brother were having a race. She was able to bike 18,480 feet in half an hour. What was her speed in miles per hour? So we need to know how many miles this was before we can take it into a rate. So 18,480 feet over x miles equals feet over miles. And we know there's 5,280 feet in 1 mile. So if we do this, we get 18,480 equals 5,280x. Divide by 5,280. And we did this with the heart method here. We get that x equals 3.5 miles. So if we want her speed in miles per hour, she went 3.5 miles. And she did that in half an hour. So we divide that by half and we get 7 miles per hour.